Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. SSET Englishtown.
Hello and welcome to another SSET video. Today we are doing 2A reading, Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, and it is the class that starts at 4 p.m. So you will need your 2A reading book, and the book we are reading, Frog and Toad. Frog and Toad. We are going to start with the vocab test. So if you studied your vocab at home like these brilliant students have, then you'll be okay. So make sure you have a piece of paper to write your vocab down. If you don't, pause the video, get some paper, come back. We're going to do page 61 in the book, so you don't need paper. It is on page 61. Page 61. Alright, so let's do some vocab. No cheating at home. No cheating. Alright, number one. What is another word for very? Very. I am very handsome. I am very handsome. Today is very hot. Another word for very. Number two. When you put liquid from one container into another or into a cup, what is that word? Juice, milk, water, liquid from one container into another. All right, number three. What is another word for maybe? Maybe. Maybe. I think tomorrow maybe it will rain. Maybe it will rain. Number four. To go to sleep. To go to sleep. This is a two-word answer. To go to sleep. Two-word answer. To go to sleep. Two words. Two words, yes. To go to sleep. To go to sleep. And it is using the past tense because you are already asleep. So what is the past tense of that? To go to sleep. To go to sleep. There's a hint there for you. To go to sleep. Number five. What is the small round thing on your shirt or your pants that you use to tie your shirt together? It's usually round, sometimes it's square. Yes? What is that? Small round thing on your shirt. All right, next one. What is the opposite of thick? Opposite of thick. So you have thick and the opposite of thick. Opposite of thick. All right, number 7. To rip a piece of paper. Like this. To rip a piece of paper. You can have past tense word or you can have the present tense word. Or you can have both. Number 8. What is another word for a blanket? Another word for a blanket. You put on your bed to keep you warm. Number 9. What is a small road that you walk on? It's usually in the woods or in the mountains, a small road that you walk on. It is the first word in your vocab, the first word. All right, last one, number 10. What is the opposite of thin? The opposite of thin. So you have this one and then the opposite of thin. Thin and then the opposite. Okay, let's have a look at your answers. Number 1. Number 1 was very. I am very handsome. What is another word for very?
Quite.
Quite. Quite. Yes. Quite. 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 I am quite handsome. Quite handsome. Number 2.
Pour.
Pour, to
Put liquid.
put liquid from one container into another. Pour. Or past tense is poured. Ed. Poured. Good. Number 3. Another word for maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Good. Perhaps it will rain tomorrow. Maybe it will rain tomorrow. Perhaps. Good. Number 4. To go to sleep.
Fell asleep.
Fall asleep or fell asleep. Yes. Fall asleep, fell asleep. Fall asleep. Good. Number 5. What is the round thing that you find on your shirt to keep your shirt together or your jacket? A button. Good. A button. 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 2 or 3 buttons. S. Buttons.
Buttons is okay.
Yes, buttons is okay. Of course. Number 6. The opposite of thick.
Thin.
Thin. Good. Opposite of thick is thin. Easy peasy Japanesey. Number 7. To rip a piece of paper.
Tear.
Tear or past tense?
Pour.
Tore. Tear, tore. Good. Tear, tore. Tear or tore. All right, I'm going to run these off. Number 8. What is another word for a blanket?
Cover.
Cover. Good. Cover. Number 9. What is a small road that you walk on, usually in the mountains or in the forest?
Path.
Path. Good. A path. Path. And last one, opposite of thin.
Thick.
Thick. Good. Thin, thick. Good. All right, there's your 10 vocabulary words for today. All right, good job. All right, let's have a look at our book, page 61 still. Keep going. All right, we have to answer the question. So let's read the story. Let's read our story before we answer the questions. All right, so we're going to read the story. It is the buttons.
A lost button.
The buttons.
A lost button.
The lost button. A lost button. Good, page 28. A lost button. All right, can you start, please?
A lost button. Toad and Frog went for a long walk. They walked across a large meadow. They walked in the woods. They walked along the river. At last, they went back home to Toad's house. "Oh, drat," said Toad.
Keep going.
"Not only do my feet hurt, but I have lost one of the buttons on my jacket."
Good. All right, let's go to the next page, page 30. Go.
"Don't worry," said Frog. "We'll go back to all the places where we walked. We'll soon find your button." They walked back to the large meadow. They began to look for the button in the tall grass. "Here is your button," cried Frog. "That is not my button," said Toad. "That button is black. My button was white." Toad put the black button in his pocket.
Good. All right, next page, page 32. A sparrow flew down. "Excuse me," said the sparrow. "Did you lose a button?" "I found one." "That is not my button," said Toad. "That button has 2 holes. My button had 4 holes." Toad put the button with 2 holes in his pocket. They went back to the woods and looked on the dark paths. "Here is your button," said Frog. "That is not my button," cried Toad. "That button is small. My button was big." Toad put the small button in his pocket. All right, next page, page 34.
A raccoon came out from behind a tree. "I heard that you were looking for a button," he said. "Here is one that I just found." "That is not my button." while Toad.
Failed. Toad.
That button is square. My button was round. Toad put the square button in his pocket. Frog and Toad went back to the river. They looked for the button in the mud. Here is your button, said Frog. That is not my button, shouted Toad. That button is thin. My button was thick.
Good. Next page, 36.
Toad put the thin button in his pocket. He was very angry. He jumped up and down and screamed. The whole world is covered with buttons, and not one of them is mine. Toad ran home and slammed the door. There, on the floor, he saw his white, four-holed, big, round, thick button. Oh, said Toad, it was here all the time. What a lot of trouble I have made for Frog.
Excellent. All right, next page, page 38. Toad took all of the buttons out of his pockets. He took his sewing box down from the shelf. Toad sewed the buttons all over his jacket. The next day, Toad gave his jacket to Frog. Frog thought that it was beautiful. He put it on and jumped for joy. None of the buttons fell off. Toad had sewed them on very well. All right, excellent reading, girls, excellent reading. All right, so let's answer the questions on page 61. Question number 1. What did Toad and Frog do to find Toad's missing button? What did they do to find his button?
They walked where they walked.
So where did they go? Where did he think he lost his button?
In the tall grass.
Where else?
Meadow.
Yep, and one more?
In the tall
Pet.
woods.
Yeah. All right, so question number, where did they go? Toad and Frog. Toad and Frog.
Meadow.
So they went, Toad and Frog went to the meadow. Toad and Frog went to the meadow. And looked in the tall grass. Toad and Frog went to the meadow and looked in the tall grass. In the woods? Yeah. And the woods?
Yes.
And the woods. What are the woods? What are woods? Yeah, like a forest. Lots, many trees. Many trees. I hope they can see the answers. Sorry, I'm just moving you closer. Oh. Yeah, okay. I think that's okay. You can see the answers. All right, number 2. Question number 2. Was Toad's lost button black?
No.
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 His lost
No,
button,
it.
it is white.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was white. It was white. So make sure you answer a full sentence. Was Toad's button black? No, it wasn't. It was white. All right, number 3. Did Toad's lost button have 2 holes?
No.
No, it had
4.
4 holes. Good. It had 4 holes. No, it had 4 holes. 2 holes? No, it had 4 holes. Right, question number 4. Was Toad's lost button small?
No.
No, it was?
Big.
It was big. Good. It was big. Was Toad's lost button small? No, it was big. All right, I'm just going to rub off 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2. All right, number 5. Was Toad's lost button square shaped?
No.
No. What was it?
It was round.
It was round. Good. Was it square shaped? No, it was round. All right, number 6. How did the sparrow and raccoon try to help Toad? Firstly, what is a sparrow?
Bird.
A bird. What is the raccoon?
Like
A small furry animal? Yes, small furry animal. All right, so 6 was, how did the sparrow and raccoon try to help Toad? What did they do?
they
They found something.
found button.
Yes, they found buttons. And what did they think about those buttons? They thought that they belonged to
Toad.
Toad, correct. So they found the buttons. Good. They found buttons. All right, everyone okay? All right, question number 7. Was Todd's lost button thin? We did this in our vocab today. No, it wasn't. It was?
Thick.
It was thick. Good. So was his button thin? No, it was thick. It was thick. Now, question number 8. Where did Toad finally find his own button? Where was his button all this time?
In his house.
All right, so make a sentence, full sentence. His button was in his house. 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 Good. All right, number 9. How did Toad feel when he found his button? How did he feel when he found his button? All right, have a look in the book. Have a look right at the end. How did he feel?
Story. True frog.
So did he, he felt good or bad? He felt bad, yes. He felt bad. Why did he feel bad?
He found it in his house.
And what did he make, or what did him and Frog and he do?
Find a lot of places.
Yeah, they walked around a lot of places looking for his button, but it was at home all this time. All right, good. So that is 61. 61. All right, 3 more questions. So page 62. 62. All right, question number 10. What did Toad do with all the buttons that they had found? What did he do with all the buttons? Toad. What do you call that word? Do you know? Sewed. Yes, sewed. Toad sewed all the buttons. Toad sewed all the buttons on
Jacket.
whose jacket?
His.
On a jacket. He sewed them all on a jacket. Toad sewed all the buttons on a jacket. On a jacket. All right, question number 11. Why do you think Toad did this? Why did he sew all the buttons on there?
Toad wanted to give it to Frog.
Yes, Toad wanted to give the jacket to Frog. So Toad wanted to give the jacket to Frog. Good. Right, don't forget, use capitals for the names, Toad and Frog. Alright, question number 12. Last question for this one. How did Frog like the jacket? How did Frog? He jumped for joy, yes. So Frog jumped for joy. He jumped for joy, which means he was very happy. He jumped for joy. Yay! Jumped for joy. All right. Make sure you write the question down. If you haven't written the answers down, just pause the video and then play when you're ready. All right. Now let's finish the exercise on page 62. 62. All right. All of the buttons that you see here, all of the buttons on page 62. You have to circle the ones that could be Toad's last button. Could be Toad's. See how many you can find that could be Toad's. 2?
Yes.
What color was Toad's?
White.
Was it square or round?
Round.
2 or 4 holes?
4.
Thick or thin?
Thick.
All right. Where are the 2 buttons?
First button.
On the left-hand side
Yes.
and
Right.
on the right-hand side, on the right side. So the left side and the right side. So his button was round, white in color, 4 holes, and thick. All right, last exercise for the book. We have to describe the button below. So what was one of the things that his button looked like?
White.
All right, let's do color first. White. Okay, white. So white. All right, next one.
4.
4 holes. Ella, you can go next.
Big.
Big?
Yes.
Yes, it wasn't small.
Round.
Round, of course. Yes. And one more.
Thick.
Thick. Yes, thick. It was very thick, not thin. So it was white, it was big, it had 4 holes, it was round and thick. Excellent. Good job. All right, that's the answers for 62. All right, let's do open your mind. Open your mind. There's only one question. Open your mind. We have to describe all the buttons in our room, but we don't have any buttons. Oh, you have buttons. All right. What kind of buttons do you have?
Round.
Round.
Black.
Black color, yes.
Small.
Small.
Thin.
What are they? Thin? Yes. What are they made of? Plastic, yeah, maybe. Or metal. Little metal. Metal. Good. Any buttons? No buttons? All right. So that's it. We have small, round, metal, black, thin.
What holes?
No holes. These are like funny ones. They like clip together. All right. Good job. So, you can't hold your jacket on the floor. All right. So that was Frog and Toad. So we did the 2A reading for today, Monday, Wednesday, 4 o'clock class. And the story read was a lost button. So until next time, that's all we have time for this episode. So until I see you again, goodbye.
Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. SSET Englishtown.